It's been 1 week since the new Star Wars show has premiered, that being The Bad Batch, and all of us LEGO fans are just begging to get these guys in physical LEGO form as quick as possible. And LEGO is satisfying that need with the Bad Batch shuttle set. Unfortunately, that set is not being released till the 1st of August, which is 3 months away. So that's not great. So in the meantime, I was inspired by a couple of people on Instagram to make my own custom Bad Batch out of already made LEGO pieces. Now, of course, these guys aren't going to be 100% accurate or look perfect to their counterparts in the show, but I think they generally look like who they should do. So, presenting to you my custom LEGO Bad Batch. And here they are, all 5 members of my own custom Bad Batch, out of all Purist LEGO minifigure parts. Going from left to right, we have Crosshair, Tech, Hunter, Wrecker, and Ekko. I didn't have time to make a custom Omega, although I do want to make one of those as well, because I have a very good idea to make her, so that will come at a later date. Now, the reason I'm making all 5 of these guys is for my ongoing Camino mock, so if you're not familiar with that, make sure to go check it out, because I am going to be adding a ton of Bad Batch scenes from the Bad Batch premiere into that mock, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to use these guys to represent the Bad Batch until I can get my hands on the official set. So anyway, let's go through each of these minifigures to give you a closer view of each of them, as well as telling you which parts they include. So I'll kick things off with Hunter, I think. Okay, so first up here we've got Hunter, the leader of the Bad Batch. Okay, so on the left here is what he's supposed to look like, and here is his Lego figure. The parts to include him come from all over the place. The legs, I believe, come from a Abraham Lincoln minifigure, which is quite weird, from the Lego Movie 2 collectible minifigure series, just because it had a skull in it and the red. The torso is from a Sith Trooper, I believe, from the Old Republic Battle Pack. His helmet is from Inferno Squad, from the Battlefront 2 Battle Pack. His gun and his knife are just regular pieces. I think the knife is from some Marvel thing. His arm, I believe, is from a CMF figure, like an Agent minifigure or something like that. And then his backpack is just a mixture of random pieces. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this figure turned out, and I tried to get as much red into him as possible, as I did with quite a lot of the Bad Batch, because I really do like that mix of black and red, and I think they all worked together really nicely. So that's Hunter, essentially. Now to bring you on to the next member of the Bad Batch, that being Tech. And here is Tech, the second member of the Bad Batch, known for being the most intelligent one, I believe. This guy is quite distinctive because of his white armor, which really stands out next to the rest of the Bad Batch, who's in the greys and blacks and reds. So here is a picture of what he should actually look like, and here's a picture of what his Lego minifigure looks like. Don't really know why they did it in grey, but anyway, here's what I did. For the legs and the torso are taken from the same minifigure because their belt works together nicer, that being the Patrol Scout Trooper or Stormtrooper, whatever he is, from the Patrol Trooper Battle Pack. I think that just looks quite nice. His face print is from a skeleton minifigure, which I thought was quite interesting, just to get those like yellowish eyes, because I didn't really have any other type of goggle piece, so that's the one I went with. And then for the helmet, I went with a V-Wing pilot helmet, I believe from the 2014 A-Wing. And yeah, that's pretty much what makes him. Again, a custom backpack. This was probably the most involved backpack with a silver screwdriver and whatnot. But I really like how this guy turned out. I think he's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on to the next member of the Bad Batch, that being Wrecker. Up next, we've got Wrecker, by far the strongest of the Bad Batch, in terms of physical strength at least. This was another fun one to do. The armor plating for this guy was quite important to get right in order for him to look a bit bigger than the rest of them. Here is what Wrecker looks like in the actual show, and just like what I'm going to do, LEGO themselves have also used a new armor piece to basically make him look bigger. This is their figure here. Now, in order to make Wrecker, my legs come from an Imperial ground crew member, just because I thought they were quite interestingly detailed legs. The torso doesn't really matter as long as it's black, because it all gets covered up, and then it's just got dark red arms. He has a specialized armor piece. I got this one from Savage Press, just because it's quite detailed, but you can use any one really. His helmet is from the Shadow Stormtrooper from the 2015 Battle Pack, purely just because when you look at it, you can kind of see it's got like It's got the main color and then a different color splashed over the front, kind of the same way Wrecker's helmet actually does. So I think it looks pretty good. And again, a large custom weapon. I couldn't quite get a backpack on this guy just because of his neck already had a big armor piece on it, but he still looks pretty cool, I think. Up next, we've got the newest member of the Bad Batch, at least out of the main 5, that being Ekko. So here is Ekko, the cyborg of the squad. Yeah, Ekko is the character people most knew before the Bad Batch because he was in the Clone Wars quite a lot. And his armor was a lot of fun to make because it really changes from early in the Clone Wars to ARC Trooper to where he was at the end of Season 7 and now to the Bad Batch. So here is what he's supposed to look like in the Bad Batch with all of his new mechanical enhancements. And this is what LEGO has done to replicate that. And this is my take. In order to create this guy, I wanted to get some silver legs, so I used the same Shadow Stormtrooper from Wrecker. The torso was also from the same figure used on Wrecker, that being the Imperial Ground Crew member. I gave him a metallic hand. The only one I could find was in gold, unfortunately, which was from an Aquaman CMF. I would have liked to get that in silver, but I just couldn't quite get it. His helmet is an Imperial V-Wing helmet, so it's quite interesting that 2 members of the group use different V-Wing helmets. And then the inside helmet of that helmet, or well, I guess the head, is from a different collectible minifigure, that being from Series 9 of the CMF. Like, I believe they call it like the mech suit guy or something like that. But yeah, just a nice silver face to go under that gap in the helmet, which I think turned out pretty cool. So on to the final member of the Bad Batch. Well, is he a member of the Bad Batch anymore? Who knows? That being Crosshair. Let's take a look at him. So last up, we've got Crosshair. The hardest thing to get right on Crosshair was his antenna, because his helmet has like an antenna beside it. Now, of course, we all know that LEGO does not make a Phase 2 helmet that has that attachment, because otherwise we'd get a Phase 2 Cody by now and a accurate Phase 2 Rex by now, but apparently not. So I ended up going with a walkie-talkie behind his helmet, so you can kind of like get the illusion when you look at it head on, a bit like this, that he does have some kind of antenna. Even if it doesn't work that well, I'm still happy with it. But anyway, this is how Crosshair is supposed to look, according to the Bad Batch, and this is LEGO's interpretation of it. Yep, they didn't do a great job here. Well, this is Crosshair in his Imperial uniform, is what LEGO used in the set, but I need to have the actual Bad Batch version, so that's what I've created, so it's quite hard to compare these ones. But anyway, in order to create him, the legs are also from that Agent minifigure I used for Hunter's arm. His torso is from a Hawkeye minifigure, which I thought was quite interesting, and his helmet is a Death Trooper helmet, which I think is quite ironic, seeing that he's likely to become an early stage of Death Trooper, so I thought that was quite cool. His backpack, again, is made with a walkie-talkie just to get that antenna, as well as another clip, just so you can hold his sniper behind him, so he isn't carrying around this giant gun all the time. So yeah, I'm super happy with this guy. Let's get back to all 5 of them once again for the outro. So there you have it, my full Purist custom Bad Batch. I had a lot of fun making these guys, and I think they turned out really cool overall. And hopefully you found this video of some use if you want to make your own Bad Batch without having to wait 3 months to get them, or by spending tons and tons of money on some custom minifigures, although they do look cool. But thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, like the video. That's what the like button's there for. Comment your favourite one of these minifigures and which one you think looks most accurate. I think for me it's got to be Crosshair or Tech looking the most accurate, and probably Hunter looking the least accurate, I think. I think the red torso kind of lets him down quite a lot there. And if you're new, subscribe so you do not miss all of my new content about what I'm gonna do with these minifigures, because it's gonna be a lot of fun. And thank you so much for the great growth we've had on the channel recently. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it, and goodbye.